Hello and welcome to Universal Energies. And today my guest is Rob Lummis. Hello Rob, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
For coming. Now for those of you that watch this programme regularly, it's usually the other side, isn't it?
It's definitely the other side, yeah.
I've pinched your line, haven't
You
I?
have, yeah. Technical difficulties, I call it.
Rob is usually the interviewer, and I know you've seen his programmes. He's interviewed some fascinating people. But you know what? You're the most fascinating person here. I know a little bit of what Rob's done in his life, and I'm dying to hear more. I think this is going to be a really interesting programme. So, Rob, where do we start? Because I know you've done everything. Do we start at the beginning? What do you think?
It might be a long show if we start at the beginning.
Well, we can do this in two.
Right, okay. Well, I mean, if you'd like me to go on right from the beginning, I will say that I've always known that there's something about what I was hearing, seeing and listening to.
Is this, from what age would you say that was?
Well, I was quite, my mum used to call me special from a really early age. I was always protected. No matter what I did, I always was protected.
By who? When you say
I didn't realise, but when we're born on this earth plane, and we'll come down from the spirit, and the inevitable thing is we'll go back to spirit when our time is right, Maureen. But at this moment, then, as we come down to spirit, we almost have somebody who is guiding us, guardian angels, if you like, guides, if you like, whatever you like. People have, like children have playmates, the same difference.
Do we all have this, or is this if you're special?
No, we all have this. Nobody's... let's not put a great big question mark around the world, another world,
right?
Because they're all joined. We all have understandings of this that flash in our lives now and then. People like me, who are complete nutcases, have just developed this understanding whereby I go hand in hand with the world, another dimension, call it the spirit world or whatever. Really, that's in a nutshell. So when I was at school, I was doing and saying and hearing things, and in those days it was a case of you didn't repeat too much because they thought you were...
Were you aware of that you had to keep it secret?
I was aware that you don't say those sort of things. I didn't aware of what was happening. I thought all children were the same, and my parents, who brought me up into a C of E, almost not regimented society, but we knew about the Bible. I not studied it, but I was always good at the Bible because I'd heard all the things about it.
Do they go together, would you say? Can I interrupt you by saying that? Would you say that the Bible, you know, basic religion goes in with how the spirit world, or does that have a connection?
I think everybody's choice of what they believe and understand is their belief with great respect. You don't have to believe in a God or believe in a written man's book to be spiritual, because there's a difference between spirituality and religion.
Right. Can they go together?
They can go together, of course they can go together.
Right.
I have an understanding that is everything, encompasses everything, and I think that from time immemorial everything has been adapted and pushed down to where we are now.
What does that mean?
Let me clarify that.
Yeah.
We are only talking about 2035 years ago, when a man was supposed to walk this earth and give us all these wonderful sayings. But 10,000 years before that, coming up to the Egyptian period, it's all prophesied in pyramid text, it says in there that Isis gave his pharaohs 10 laws to abide by. It didn't say anything about going up a mountain.
Are you saying there's a connection then between
I'm saying it's been adapted.
Ah.
Amen comes from the pharaoh Amun, Monday. That's where it comes from.
Oh goodness, that's a very big statement. You're
The
sort
Lord's Prayer that we say at this moment
yeah.
has been adapted from the prayer that Isis sent to his pharaohs so they could give the offerings at his temple. When JC was supposed to go down to the temple and meet with the priest of the synagogue, that temple was a temple on with Isis.
Goodness, I've never heard that before.
That's all been adapted. I'm not. This is.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
If you study it and if you have a look at it, you can see.
So you study.
I don't.
You
I've
have
had
an
a look.
in-depth study.
I talk on Egyptology.
Do you?
Yeah.
There you go.
I love
didn't know
history.
that.
I don't take anything for face value.
Right.
I study things and have a look and see.
Can I ask one question then?
You're the interviewer, my dear, of course.
Well, I forgot my question. That was a really important one. So, what you're saying about the Bible, what in your mind is the truth, the basic truth of spirit, of what do you believe in? Because we all come from somewhere to go somewhere, are you saying?
That's
So
a double-edged
what is-
sword, what you're saying here.
It is, and is it a horrible question?
No. I don't think I'm qualified to say that. What's in other people's minds when they write a book.
Yes.
All I would say is their adaptations
Yes.
of what is. There's no smoke without fire. So therefore there are truths along the way.
Right.
Things have been adapted. We can see that because of how many times the English Bible has been formatted again for the present society so they understand things.
It's men's words.
Yes.
So where is the essence? Where do you see the essence of the truth?
Well,
You personally, because I know it's a tough question, but if the Bible's, if man has adapted all of this, there's somewhere in the middle, there's the truth.
I didn't say they've adapted all of this. I said that there are certain passages, and those passages are very influential
Right.
on what has happened. Basically, when we have a book, whether it be the Bible or the Quran,
Right.
or based on the Muslim faith or the Hindu faith or whatever faith it is a book of dictation and it's a book of control, because that's what happens.
Yes. Yeah.
So in our lives we have, let's go back only about 100 odd years, there was still doom and gloom that was preached from a platform.
Yeah.
Remember, the media was not about, so anything that was needed to be preached was preached from the platform of a church. That's where the control comes in here. And basically we're living in a situation of fear, if you look at it properly. Fear that if you're good, you'll go to heaven. If you're not, you might go somewhere else.
Yes.
So if someone said to me, no, we're not living in the fear, explain that one. When people go to war and you have a padre on one side and said, God's with you, and a padre on the other side and God's with you, who's he with?
Yes. Yeah.
And if there is a God, why is he so vindictive?
Yes. So that leads me to another question. We've got a child here who's hearing voices that you can't tell other children about because you're not quite sure. You're also not in a very strict religious upbringing, but you've got the Bible and you know about the Bible.
Well, yeah.
How did you grow up with the two conflicting...
I didn't know anything about what was happening because I thought everybody was happening like that. So I didn't realise. I had no idea at all. It wasn't until I was about sort of, I was out fishing actually. I used to do a lot of fishing. I was in a boat with some people. It's all in my book as well.
I wish I had your book.
And then
I really do.
I almost had some words said to me. Well, it was, if you want to sort this out, I was going through one of the things in my personal life. Then now's the time to do it. And my wife at that time, who was a Jehovah's Witness, she had gone along to a spiritualist church, and I couldn't wait for her to get in. I came in over fishing. She came in, and I couldn't wait. I almost pulled the door handle off. It was all 100-degree angle, I remember that. And I couldn't wait. She was going along to this church, and I went in there, and when I went in there, there was a medium there. And he was a little cockney fella, and he said to me, I don't know why you're sitting there, you should be up here. And the rest is history.
Really?
I went to London, other things happened, but then I went to London and everything else, and they asked me to sit in a circle, or I went to sit in a circle, then they asked me to sit in another one, then they asked me if I ran circles, and I hadn't got a clue. And then, but from there I just, but that's the way, if you wanted to go down those lines, which I did, I wanted to understand better, so that was it. I always remember there was the medium down here who had a healing centre down here, one of the old blind homes on the corner. He started up this thing, and his children were the same age as my children. Well, when they went to school, they got friends, and one of these other children said, I'm so glad we met you because my daddy does the same as your daddy.
Oh!
I never forgot that. But yes, I'll divulge in there for a bit. Oh. Yeah, so I do think that everybody can read different things into different passages of any book.
Yes.
Some people get, when you read a book, you get engrossed in the pages, and that becomes a story. And that's what's happened to all our religious books, really, because we got in there. That has controlled our lives.
Right.
And we're almost afraid of doing certain things. I know you're going to ask me now, you're going to ask me, do you believe in this? It's not up to me whether I believe or not. I have my own thoughts, the same as you do, or everybody else, and I do it with great respect for anybody else. That's why I started my centre off, so it's for everybody.
So do you feel liberated because of your belief? Does that take you out of the shackles that you're saying that?
I don't think I've ever been in shackles as such, but that's another workshop. We won't go down.
We're going totally off of where I thought we were going, because you're fascinating.
But I don't think I've been. I understand what you mean by that. I haven't been dictated, and my mum and dad have always given me an understanding of making my mind up myself, the same as all my brothers and my sister. We get to a point in life sometimes whereby if we have been in the situation which you have described there, we get to maybe, when we're coming up approaching teenage years, we have a choice, but we don't want to rock any boats because of maybe what's happened. Yeah. I was never in that situation. Oh. I made up my own mind, and I find that life is a learning curve. It is, yes it is, but it's also a very healing situation here. And not just physically, but spiritually as well. And laughter and is the best healing
yes, I agree
so
with
I find
that.
everything that's I find things funny. We have come out of the situation whereby we have to be doom and gloom if we're talking to people on a philosophy or psychological level. Beforehand it was very regimental. Now it's not so much, and that's really good. And I think as we're moving along, not in my lifetime, but there will be a situation whereby everybody will understand that they have the capacity, A, to heal themselves,
really?
And B, to listen to their consciences, which is nothing but the spirit.
So the fascinating thing is, as a child, you had you heard these voices, did they help you? Were you able to accept what they were saying? Did that help you through childhood?
I didn't realise they were voices. What they were was, it's like, it's hard to explain, but it's like a conscious inside knew that certain things were happening around me, and either I get involved in it or I don't get involved, being protected to not go down this way or not go down that way. But we've all got that.
Is it like a conscience? What
It
you're
is.
saying your conscience telling you? Are you saying that's
I think
not your
conscience,
conscience?
intuitive self and
Yes.
spirit are nothing but the same.
Ah, that's interesting. So by that token, we've all got it.
Everybody has. Everybody is born with it.
Right.
We put great big words on things today, and we emphasise it because there's so much ego involved in this sort of situation that it's unbelievable, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that we get to a point whereby we want to tell people, we want to encourage people, we want them to do that. But when you get onto a platform and it's me, then people are alienated and they move the other way, no matter what you're talking about.
Ah, so sensible, isn't it? You say such sensible things.
I don't know about that. I'll have to ask my wife about that one.
So another question,
Yes.
because I can ask it,
Yeah.
because I'm allowed. If you wanted to develop what you've got, which you're sort of suggesting we've all got, maybe not as refined as you, because I think you've got it. But if you wanted to refine what you've got, can you come along to one of your sessions? I mean, do you run anything that?
I used to run things. I don't do it anymore because I think people who are very interested can get it from all over the place now. You can either read, you can go to what they call development circles that people run.
Yeah.
You can stop and change the different groups that you want to go in.
Right.
There's so many outlooks you can go to. If you go to a spiritualist church, all you have to do is ask, and the officers inside will sort it out for you. You know. I do feel that sometimes because it's encroached in a church, they call it church, a spiritual church, it's a case of that you're dictated to what is in there, whereby I like the word church to be pushed to one side so people could, any church, so people could then understand that when they go through the doors, whatever is being spoken about, they can take what they want and put the rest onto one side. That's right, I've got the centre.
So church is constraining.
I don't say it's constraining. I think that if you've got the name of a Catholic church, Church of East, whatever it is, over the door, you are dictated to what their beliefs are when you go in the door.
Ah, right.
If you have a centre, it can range from anything from angels to talking about if you believe in a devil. You can go right from one spectrum to the other. And it can be everybody. You can be sitting next to all kinds of faiths and they can all have a little input in.
Yes.
And as far as I'm concerned, and this is just my opinion, the day when all faiths, all creeds and colours, all genders sit down together is the day we all start moving on and we start thinking of ourselves.
Yes.
And others.
I'm sure we'd all like that. That's a
there would be, but
yes.
while we've got a controlled situation,
yes,
and let's face it, it can probably be going to be like this for another 100 years, or maybe more. I don't know, but it only takes a few people to get together, and then before that, they're like cells; they multiply.
Right. So you're saying freedom is in spiritualism or in the spirit.
Freedom is in your own beliefs and the way that you perceive them. Like there's no rights and wrongs in anything. It's just the way you perceive it. That's your own intuitive self telling you this is not good, or that's not good, or this is okay.
So we should listen to ourselves more.
We should do, yeah. Because in that way we will get on a lot better.
Right.
Not just that, but I mean we'll join with others. There's a lot of banding about today about soulmates and soul groups and the soul and the cell. My adaptation is that there are many. The soul group is we meet many people in our lives. Some stay for a long period of time. Others we just rush along the way, but we're meant to.
So are you saying our lives are mapped out for us?
That is one theory, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure if I don't disagree with that or I agree with it. But at the end of the day, then I think that it's like having maybe a blueprint and we come down here. But if we knew about that blueprint when we were here, because we're in a physical form, and what's most important to us here is getting on and achieving and doing and having a family and everything else. If we knew about that blueprint, it would be sheer anarchy on this earth at this moment. Because everybody would think, why would we have to bother? Because we know where we're going and what's going to happen anyway.
Oh, right. So you can't alter it though. That's
I think that you create your own life.
Could you derail? I mean, if you're on the rails on a life that's got a blueprint that you're going on, have you the capability of derailing yourself?
Yeah, I don't think. Yes, you have.
Yeah.
You may not have a lot, but you have freedom of choice.
Right.
And through those choices, your life is mapped out for you here. You know yourself that there's an old saying, better the devil you know, and that's where most people stick.
Yeah.
If they were to make that choice, who knows what would happen in their lives? There are no regrets, the same as anything. There's no rights and no wrongs, no regrets.
Right.
So if you don't make that choice and you carry on, and your life becomes burdened with this, that and something else, whose fault is it?
Right. Well, it's your own, isn't it?
But because you've maybe listened to other people, you haven't listened to yourself. And maybe you've gone down that road and it's been disastrous for you. But there's always crossroads that come along the way.
Oh, that's it. So that's your choice.
You have that choice all the time.
Yes.
People say to me about the vulnerable people that are born on this earth, and there are all kinds of things. I've even heard people say that they've done this, that, and something else when they were in a past life, and they're paying for it.
Yes,
well,
I've heard that.
I can't go into that because at the end of the day, then it doesn't resonate with me. That sort of thing.
No.
That may well be. I don't know, but I can't. I'm not qualified to answer. I know that those people, those vulnerable people, give us so many lessons in our lives to help us as much as we help them.
Oh.
That we move forward and make so many good choices because of it touches us, you know. And it's the old cliche: when there's something happening around the world, there's a disaster, we all pull together.
Yes, and that's good.
But those choices then, it sort of takes our vibration on a different level.
Oh, right.
You know, it's like, unfortunately, when we go to a christening or a funeral, our energies are heightened. We're thinking about the young child being born here and the young family that's there, you know, and they don't have to look like their mum or dad or whatever.
Yeah.
Or we go to a funeral and we're thinking about the times that we knew and we didn't want them to suffer, and they did suffer, and, or perhaps they didn't, but our energies are heightened.
We've all done that, haven't we? Yes.
That's when spirit gets to us.
Is that a power of thought? Are you saying that?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
It's just thought.
The power
What
of thought.
you think you are.
It doesn't work for me. Oh, sorry, I was going to make a joke then.
I think it does. And joke, I think it works for everybody, but where it doesn't work, we start to analyse it.
And you shouldn't analyse.
Just
Are
go.
you saying just go with it?
Just go. If you go with it, you don't realise that you're doing it.
It's a brave thing to do as well.
Well, if you're doing a bit of gardening outside and you're just there doing the plants, the chances are your mind are not doing the plants, your mind's off somewhere else.
Right.
And you may even be thinking about the spirits of the seeds or the garden or whatever. You might be listening, oh, that's lovely, I just heard a thrush. Oh, he's come down, he's quacking a nut. You're going somewhere else, but you're doing that job.
Right.
When you're doing washing up at home or whatever, some mundane job you might call it, you know.
Yeah.
But your mind goes somewhere else. You might be thinking, oh, I haven't heard from such and such in a little while, still doing washing up. I haven't heard from this, that, something. It's going off somewhere else.
So what does that mean, though?
That means that you have...
Because I daydream. That's more than
It's the same. It's exactly the same thing.
But I don't understand what that means.
When you daydream, your energies are heightened. You may be daydreaming on a physical level.
Yes.
But when you learn about different dimensions, you daydream on a spiritual level.
Like an astroplane.
Could be, yeah.
That's interesting. So you say I'm astroplaning when
I didn't say that at all. You're putting words into my mouth.
Sorry, I'm asking.
No, that's all right.
That's not the right thing to say.
No, at the end of the day, I'm not qualified to tell people that they're... I can just say it from my perception.
Yes. No, your perception
else,
is fascinating.
Sometimes we have the capacity to extend our thoughts to a greater hemisphere. An example is if you go out at night and you look at the stars, your mind is completely involved in that situation and you start to drift. You almost see like stars joining into each other. You see like a brighter star, which could be your own personal star, if you like. You're concentrating it on. It gets brighter as you concentrate on it.
Can you have a personal star?
I was being hypothetical there, but
right.
you can. It's almost like you have that.
Right.
Because you concentrate on it.
Yeah.
But if you concentrate on that there, in your periphery of your eye here, you will see an energy field that is around maybe a tree or a rooftop.
Yeah.
That's the first beginning of an aura.
Oh my goodness.
Have you seen that?
I think I have. I just
I'm sure
thought it was an optical illusion.
No. Because you're concentrating on something and your peripheral vision is taking you somewhere else. You're going off somewhere. So you're away with the fairies, if you like.
I'm away with I've been called that before.
What, a fairy or away with them?
No. Not a sugar plum fairy.
No. Oh, I don't go sugar.
Oh my goodness, do you know, this has gone in such a different direction. We haven't even got on. Do you know that, Rob, you lived with Indians?
I was with them for a little while, yeah.
And I want to know all about that. That's going to be another programme.
Okay.
It has, because we're coming to the end of our time, aren't we? Oh, goodness. And I want to talk about something that's going to happen in Felixstowe that's never happened before.
No, we've never had
please explain.
Right,
I'm fascinated by it.
We're going to have, let me just start at the beginning here. I run a centre, as you viewers will know, first Friday of every month, and it's for charitable and good causes. It's not registered charity because we do so many charities and I can't register unless it's one charity. But we give cheques out June, July time, and we've been going for, this one has been going for, last October we started, and before that when I came out of hospital I did something for the cancer wards, and together we have given £2,400 out to charity so far. Well, we're on course for July, August time, around that period, to give 2 more cheques out for charity, and that makes me feel good because I'm giving things back that we need to do. At the same hall, I have a workshop coming up, and that workshop will help you on. It's on sensings and feelings. you will get all to understand about your energy centres, how you can work your energies to help you, how you can shut your energy centres down. We all know that sometimes certain people will fire arrows at it, not literally, I hope, but they fire arrows at us, and we get these and it hits us in the solar plexus, so we need to know how to shut them down so it doesn't affect us too much. With that, in the same hall, I've got a healing day that is coming up. I haven't got it, I'm just organising it. And it will be sponsored by my centre here, and it's on the 20th of March. There are many different kinds of healers that are coming, and it's only for healers. And
can we say where it is? Because I'm sure you'd love to know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, but it's at Trimley Welcome Hall, and it's those who don't know it, it's right next to the Mariners pub there, and it's on the 20th of March. It's 10 till 4.
It's a Sunday.
Which is a Sunday,
yes.
Yes. You can get appointments if you like. It's £5 for healing across the board for 20 minutes, and that's very, very good, let me assure you. And you can have appointments by getting on to me at my have a look at my timeline. You can get all my, you can private message me, email me, have a look at my websites that are there, have a look and see. Or you can just turn up on the day, and we'll have 3 or 4 chairs there waiting for people to sit down, and you can choose, if it's available, what healer you would like, and it's everything. We have 9 different healers, and everything. Let me take my glasses off for this. From spiritual healing to Reiki healing.
What's Reiki? Because you know, somebody asked me that,
Well,
and I'm not terribly sure. Is that head or is that feet?
No. Reiki is a spiritual healing whereby it's almost like an auric healing, whereby the hand is placed away from the body slightly, and energies are passed through from you to the recipient.
Oh, right.
You are put into a nice relaxed state, and all healing, remember, is there to regenerate yourself, to revitalise yourself and relax yourself. So remember the 3 R's therefore.
Fantastic.
We also have Indian head massage, we have crystal massage, and all the spectrums of healing there. There are some lovely people who I've worked with for many years. There are some new people that I haven't seen very often, but I know their energies, so they're going to be really good. So we'd love to see you, and you can have maybe a sticky bun and a cup of tea at the same time.
Well, that's me sold. But how the energy of the day will be lovely, because it's all about healing, so the energy in the building will be lovely as well.
We've also got a lovely friend of mine who plays the kora, which is like a mandolin.
Oh.
But he's been playing since he was 7 years old. He goes and talks on this all over, does workshops, and he's really, really good. It's such relaxing music. So he'll be playing on and off all day.
So it sounds just a lovely place to be in as
well. It will be, the atmosphere
Yeah.
will be good, yes.
Oh, do you know, Rob, I'm looking at the clock, we've run out of time. We haven't gone anywhere yet, have we? I thought we were going to do Rob's life. We haven't even started it, have we? We've just done the basics.
I
Will
can
you
talk
come
for
again?
England, my dear.
Oh, and fascinating too, isn't it? Will you come back
Of course I
again?
will. Of course I will.
I think we should see and talk to Rob again, don't you? Thank you so much, Rob.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're
It's
welcome,
been
my dear.
lovely, really lovely. And thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you'll come back again and get the next instalment of Rob's life. I can't wait, so I don't know about you, but thank you for being here. Thank you. Goodbye.